back, and we're doing a Star Trek review. Wave 1 of Nacelle finally got to our doorstep, and we're wanting to break them out, compare them to old figures, see what they're like. Now, this is arguably one of the things that we have been looking forward to the most. Conventions last year and the year before, we got to see some prototypes of these.
The prototypes, they're
and we
generous.
are huge Star Trek fans. We are super excited to see these come to life. Let's
So
check them out.
little caveat before we start. I am 100% a 1/12 scale collector, so there's been a lot of apprehension. Michael leans towards 1/18 and 1/12. So when these were announced to be 1/12, there was a lot of excitement. And then over the 2 years of waiting for them, they've kind of grown into being 1/10. So there's a little trepidation as we get going, but I think we're gonna buy them anyway.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to for me. I mean, I was hoping that they would skew closer to 6 inches to match, you know, Marvel and match other Mattel DC that are out there. But you know what? You're never gonna get this range of figures with this amount of detail, probably ever again. So for me, it's gonna hook me, and I'm really excited to get into these.
Right off the back, we've got resealable boxes. That's nice, but we don't care about boxes.
This packaging is really awesome, though.
All right.
Beautiful.
All right, so right off the bat, tons and tons of accessories, which is just super awesome. You cannot argue that they didn't shoot for the moon when it comes to what they pack in here, especially for the value. It's kind of mind-blowing that this is a franchise licensed toy line that's coming with this many accessories for $27, $28, something like that. They're supposed to be available, though they're supposed to be available at places like Walmart and everything. And wow, it's a lot of stuff. And the paint applications, like everything going on his shoulders. I mean, you could maybe argue that the face is a little soft because they're not using digital printing, which is become more common, but they're using the I don't know, standard, you know, how toys have been painted for the last 50 years.
Is there dry brushing? See,
there's a little bit of wash. There's a little wash in there.
Yeah, but you can see on his, like, maybe there's a little bit of coloration around his eyes, but yeah, it's very basic with the paint on the face.
Yeah,
I would see them probably expanding that and getting better at that over time. Other lines that have just kicked off, sometimes they have similar quality issues at the start.
For sure, and I mean, right off the bat, we haven't popped them all open yet, but these are 100% dedicated sculpts for these characters.
Yeah, again, at that price point, that's insane.
And it looks like they've announced 3 or 4 waves at this point, and they're all using dedicated bodies.
So, and just to kind of slightly get over here, so here's the Diamond Select, the old ones. This is just packed with awesome articulation, comparatively. Like, you really couldn't ask for anything else, you know, maybe toe joints, but you wouldn't even need those, right?
Yeah, and they actually did a poll. I remember it's been a year plus ago when they were in development, asking fans whether we wanted ab articulation, and according to Brian, the overwhelming response was no. It breaks up the suit design. We want them to just be able to stand and look clean. I think that was the right decision. I think when it comes to maybe a captain sitting in a seat, we might have some issues there, and we already know that. Talking about accessories, I mean, we get a what's it called? The Genesis device with Valkyris in this wave, but we also know when Janeway comes out in wave 2, she comes with her captain's chair. So yeah, it's just tons of accessories.
Yeah, and we're getting a whole bridge too, so that's super exciting to think about where this line is headed. I can't imagine having the whole bridge crew sitting at their stations.
Yeah, and with Scotty's nephew here, we have accessories he never used, but it's cool that they come with him because, you know, he could have used a phaser and a tricorder and all these different things. Right off the bat, we've got 3 sets of hands, fists open and grabbing. Nothing that is dedicated necessarily for a phaser or tricorder in particular, it looks like. Looks like they're more just generic grips or
Interesting. Well, this one here, this looks like this is definitely a communicator hand, which he comes with a communicator.
Yeah, I guess you could say that
and
is
a phaser. Yeah.
A tricorder hand, but it definitely looks like it's more just a natural opening hand too that just happens to fit the tricorder.
Same thing here. I mean, that's totally a phaser hand.
But I think when it comes to the TNG phaser, it's not really holding it naturally, but
cool. Here, I want to swap. I want to look at him a little bit.
All right, yeah,
Is that cool?
Yeah, go for it.
I just think the art on the top, or the coloration on the top of this is so cool. I'm not really excited to pick up Tuvix necessarily. I mean, he wouldn't be top of my list, but man, you can't argue with how cool that figure looks. Just even the cloth ripples on here, the sculpting is just next level. And in hand, these legs don't look like they're too long. Like it.
Yeah, that was.
Does it look proportional?
I think so. That was one thing, but I do feel like we noticed that more in the last couple waves they've shown digital renderings of. It looks like their bodies
Spock
are
looks
very
tall,
elongated.
very long.
Again, kind of comparing to other lines, we have that original DST Diamond Select, rest in peace, Captain Kirk here.
That's obviously exactly what they were going for.
Yeah, and they weren't going for Playmates First Contact scale by any means, but
Cool.
that's more of a standard 6.
You want to look at another figure?
Yeah, let's keep going.
My second favorite captain, but in the regular universe, not the mirror universe.
My, I don't know, 37th favorite captain, Sulu. Just kidding.
Has a sweet Enterprise B.
Now this is a figure I'm probably of the line of this wave. It's probably my most excited, simply because it is really the only primary character crew member in a primary outfit from the line so far. We know Wave 3 is going to be the entire TOS lineup in their TOS outfits, but yeah, we get Sulu in his captain's garb. Yeah,
Oh, dude, that's
articulation
so nice.
looks really
Wow.
clean. And really this pocket here, they made this alternating, which I thought we might see more gapping there, but honestly, that's really clean.
Oh,
Looks
man.
really good.
It looks so good. Oh, and yeah, wow.
Yeah, they did a really
Well
good
done,
job.
Nacelle. Good job.
That's excellent. That's super cool.
So good.
Super cool.
Okay, let's take a look at Archer.
Look
Oh,
at
his
him.
head pops off. All right. So, there we go. Come on.
Yeah, now Archer's the one that kind of leaked out a few months ago, and right off the bat, him and Wei Yun had some major QC issues, the muddy
little loose.
faces, and
Yeah, I would say, I mean, this is good, honestly. As far as the sculpts go, I'm not as impressed with this head sculpt.
yeah, I wish we
You look
had
at-
around here. I wish we had the Art Asylum Archer,
Yeah.
because that head was spot on.
for
man.
sure, yeah. And I had that action figure; it was so good. But yeah, you can see if you kind of take a close look, this is actually a sculpting issue in mine, not necessarily the lack of paint like we
Yeah.
talked about, but it's not as accurate as I would like.
Yeah.
Everything else looks great though.
Another cool thing they did here, 2 different kinds of tricorders, 2 different kinds of phasers. That way, if you want them from the Wrath of Khan or Undiscovered Country, you can bounce between them, unless you're really concerned about those upper pips here, because he wasn't a captain in all of them, and these would be different colors and slightly different pip designs. But, you know,
So it
who's staring at that?
Looking at the accessories that come with Archer here, I do think it would have been neat if they would have included the data pad that showed him his future.
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's something that always gets referenced about how that was just a turning point for his character in that episode. And they have really cool things here. You know, obviously we've got the NX phaser and the original series phaser, which is so cool. But yeah, that would be one, since they're just giving out accessories at this point, that would be one I think would have been neat.
Yeah, I'm really kind of pleased with this teacup. Not that I'm gonna, or coffee cup, whatever it is, I'm really not gonna use that, although it's a cool design. I assume
You
that
will if
hand...
they do his bridge.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Eventually.
I assumed that hand was attached to it, but that is actually, it comes off, and it is the phaser hand, which is, unlike what I was talking about with Tuvix, that is definitely a hand created for that phaser. And the teacup or coffee cup actually comes off the plate too. That's not one piece. Super cool.
Yeah, this is neat.
Fun stuff.
You can tell that this hand is definitely for the communicator here, because these are the most unique kind of communicators, because they go straight out, they jet out, and they don't fold in. So that's definitely that hand for that.
So again, Nacelle's desire with this line was that they would match up with some of these old excuse me, these old diamond figures, and you're definitely seeing that. Sulu, if you look up their heights or you're familiar with him, he is the shortest of that crew. Him and Chekhov are pretty close, but I think Sulu is actually a little bit shorter. And it's lining up there. You definitely have, across this line, it's less about just being a 7-inch figure, and it is more about being truly 1/10.
Which I really appreciate that. You know, when you see like that classic picture where all of the original crew were lined up straight in their red suits, you really start to get an idea of like, holy cow, they are just not uniformly sized. Yeah, and you can really see it here.
But yeah, you can see that between, like, here, we'll throw Sulu next to Archer there. There's a good at least half-inch height difference between the two of them. So,
which, when you think about like, oh, we want this to be true 1/12 scale, when an actor really is like almost 6'5", or Archer, the actor, he is a very, very tall guy. Scott Bakula. He's a very, very tall guy. So using this as your standard, standing next to Captain America or Superman, like, you know, it's not going to be 1-to-1 necessarily.
You want to switch characters again? You look at...
Yeah, as much as I like that Archer, this Sulu looks so good.
Yeah.
Is the black the same? This looks like it's
shiny.
More shiny,
Yeah,
and this is
shiny.
more matte. I really wish that they would have done matte on that one.
Yeah. Wei-Yun and Captain Garrett.
Garrett.
Two characters. I don't know that any of these characters, through any of the ways, ever interacted with each other. So.
No, they wouldn't. But arguably, from one of the coolest Next Generation episodes ever,
Yesterday's Enterprise.
and
Again, 1 million accessories. 8 hands come with Wei-Yun, 2 heads, a plate of pizza. Right? It's pizza. Right? I think it's pizza. What didn't he? I think it's.
I don't remember.
It looks pizza-like.
That must be from an episode where maybe. There we go. Man, again, these red suits.
I have had a booger of a time getting her to stand up. Her legs just naturally want to go in a specific, and like it's hard to get her to go where you want her to.
Really? Interesting.
Now that could just be finessing. I didn't do a whole lot. I knew we were going to unbox it, so I had opened her and Sulu as kind of a sampling before this.
Cool.
But she was one I was surprised by with the standing.
She's a cool character. You can tell, like, the plastic in these legs, specifically these, seems to be a little softer, and there's a little bend. Like, I would probably want to heat this up, maybe.
Now, again, going on paint applications. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the undershirt, the forearm, the bicep, the chest, the legs. All are different textures, different paint applications, paint hits going on.
Yeah.
Crazy. Super cool. And again, this is one of the figures that had leaked out a little bit early with QC problems. This is obviously the second release.
Yeah.
And you see a little bit.
And I believe that figure was never released in the 5-inch scale.
No.
That character.
Well,
so
yeah, that was his intention with most of these.
I think. Sure. Yeah, she was never made.
I think Sulu's the only one that ever had a...
Yeah, that sounds right. Tuvix wasn't, so... Man, that's so great, yeah, but just looking, again, I think sometimes just simplicity with a good sculpt goes a long way. The skin tones between the neck and face deviate. They do not match.
And she has and I know they're going for the battle-weary look there, but her blush and the shadowing going on is very dark. And it's actually interesting because it's actually darker. I don't know if you can see it in camera. It's actually darker on the standard head more than it is the battle damaged head. But
yeah, this Wei-Yun is a great figure. I really, really like this.
Yeah, I admittedly not as knowledgeable on all of these accessories, so call me not as much of a Wei-Yun or Trek
obviously
fan, but
that's the Ketracel white. Those are probably
obviously.
Those are the things that I think that is the white there, but I don't know. I'm not
those
sure.
Food. He's eating his pizza with
chopsticks. Okay, sure. Yeah, that sounds good. And I guess that is pizza. It does not look like it's tasty though. But they don't, if you remember, they don't like eat. They just graze, so they can't appreciate food. That's probably why. I bet you that was part of an episode. I don't remember it. Yeah, there we go. Finally got a data pad. That's pretty sweet.
You can hold his chopstick, and it's actually in there. Pretty
nice.
good.
These are cool figures. I like it. I think this just reminds me, we really never got to see this a whole lot, but I love it when they dropped the belt that went across there and just really ties the two generations together.
I think that was their cheap and easy way of making a costume between TNG and the original movies without having to make new costumes for the single episode. They just dropped the belt and said, hey, look, it's a whole different era. All right, I'm admittedly most excited about this. Looks like mine might have been packaged, so I'm hoping that I don't have too many scratches, and I can actually see the bat foot is scratched a little bit.
So they definitely did an awesome move here by taking the character that's probably the least likely to sell and packaging them with the coolest things.
Yeah, we got the Genesis device. And again, $28. Like,
so she is also $28?
Same price.
That makes no
same
sense.
exact price. And in Wave 2, we have...
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Keep the prices the same. We really like it.
But in Wave 2, we have Captain Kirk with a horse. And Janeway with a captain's chair. It's just insanity that they're doing that. Let's bust open the Genesis device.
All right.
And Angelico.
Well, and he comes with Picard's ready roast. Oh man, I'm gonna tear this box apart. Yeah, this is tight. Okay.
Done with boxes.
All right. Oh man, that is so much stuff. TNG body. So everybody that's gonna customize these, this is your Riker body, right?
And it'll be
have
interesting.
to mess with the pips.
It'll be interesting if they go ahead and use if they use that body, or are they just gonna do 100% new sculpt on him?
I mean, I guess they could.
I just don't know why you would.
Why would they?
Well, I had asked in some of the Q&As and different things
check that out. That's cool.
If they would be reusing parts, and like I said, Brian made it seem like it was not his intention to do that. So
I would say the paint sculpt or the paint app on this face is. I feel like this is really good here. I feel like that's one of the better ones.
Yeah, that might be the best. And yeah, these both are good. They have less washes going on her though. He definitely has a little more washer. More apps.
I would think with all the stuff that comes in her package, she would be a very basic looking figure, but she really doesn't. She stands out as
I mean,
very
all
well,
this hair,
very well
all
done.
of this softer plastic, so it can move. It's not not hard and inhibiting the articulation at all. Obviously, the skirt does, but you can actually surprisingly you can get pretty good movement on her.
Yeah, has that. Oh wow, that's
all
really nice soft plastic.
Yeah. Very soft. Very cool. All right, nobody cares about her. Just kidding. But we want to see the Genesis device.
Genesis, give me Genesis.
Oh,
Genesis?
That's so cool.
Okay.
And if you have the old DST Khan figure, which I don't have here, you could obviously recreate his famous final lines. Cool.
There we go.
Pressing a button.
All right.
Klingon tricorder, Klingon phaser.
Dude, I didn't realize it actually has the casing that it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's so neat. Well done. Well done, Nacelle.
And they made the button press. That's hilarious.
Interesting.
Doesn't need to do anything else.
Does it push in and turn? Wasn't that its deal?
I kind
of feel like it was.
Where Khan is like clinging.
And I feel like somebody asked that question at the convention.
Holy cow! Like, look at that.
Yeah, the detail.
This is an accessory to an already 7-inch tall figure. Like that's mind blowing.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Oh, I don't know if that's supposed to.
Oh wow, that's neat.
Super
Even though we didn't
cool.
see that on camera, that's very cool.
Very cool. So cool. And then this is the torpedo shell for it.
Yep.
Click shut.
You know, I almost wish that this had some electronics. It makes you think that maybe they were planning originally to put electronics in this. But for anybody who's customizing, I know people do this all the time. This has 3 screws in here. I would imagine you could customize all of that to have lights in there with a button so easily, and I bet somebody's gonna do it.
You got the fish. Do you remember the fish's name? I don't remember the fish.
I don't remember the fish's name.
The fish has a name. Insert name
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well,
That's quite a wave one, and it's pretty crazy. Oh, we've got the coloring pages that he had. Kardashian customs and etiquette, and his phaser. And this is this is the TV show phaser, whereas the one that came with Tuvix was the later generation of that phaser.
Yeah, did you see the gun that came?
Yeah,
that she came with?
Klingon.
That is so awesome looking.
And
Great
he has a hand that is more of that gun trigger finger that can hold that phaser more.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they're planning to make the TNG bridge. If this original series goes well, I would say that they are. But could you imagine the customizing that people are going to be 3D printing additional rooms to go off of it? You could actually park this right in Picard's ready room, right off that bridge if they make it.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I would want the E bridge more than the D bridge, but I'll take any bridge that they make.
Got to catch them all, man. Got to have all of them.
Super cool.
All right, well, let's line these figures up. Yeah. Let's check them all out. I'm with you. I think Sulu really might be the best one.
Honestly, there's so many figures in this line too.
Yeah, and so as we've gone along, we've packaged away, put away all of the accessories. But you could imagine this whole area being filled with accessories right now that came with these figures. So here's the full line. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm so thankful that we're getting these figures.
It's quite the start to a Star Trek collection. Also being complementary to older lines, which, that's cool, but none of the older lines have the detail, the articulation that these do. So fans, myself included, I'm sure, want new figures of all of them. So I think the idea that they had, Nacelle had of, we want to make them complement old lines so you don't have to rebuy those figures. I would have preferred them be 112 and just do them all again, but
yeah,
for those that are in that camp, that's good for them.
Well, and to pause on that for a minute, there's such a quality difference here. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to be standing these next to their old ones. It's this whole line will stand on its own, and it looks awesome.
Well, we do not have these in stock yet. We will get them. There's been a lot of distribution and shipping issues with Wave 1 because of the quality control. So I would say in the next couple months we'll have them at the Hero Complex, but
stay tuned for that information. We'll post it. We post everything on our social media as soon as it hits, so keep checking in with us. If you're interested in getting these, get them here locally, get them with us, and we want to support them so we can buy more of them in the future too. Hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Love talking this stuff. Yep. It's always a great time, and
live long and prosper.
There we go.